New video shows that Ukraine is ramping up that counteroffensive there in the south. Ukrainian forces shelling a bridge used to move Russian soldiers across the river. This comes as pro-Kremlin officials now say that they're postponing a referendum in the key southern Ukrainian town of Kherson to join Russia. Sam Kiley is out front tonight, live from Odessa, Ukraine. Sam, thank you very much for being with us tonight. President Zelensky claims Ukrainian forces are making progress in taking back land in the south. And then you see what those forces just did to that bridge, so key to the Russians. What else is he saying?
Well, Ukrainian intelligence are taking the credit for what they say is a covert operation that blew up the electoral center for this so-called referendum in Kherson. Now, that is a city, the only regional city that has fallen into Russian hands in the whole of this more than 6-month campaign now, during a counteroffensive to recapture that city. And as you say, you've seen this latest rocket strikes against that very important bridge. That is the main supply route for the Russians. On the other side, effectively on the side that I'm on here, this side of the river Dnieper, to support the occupying forces in Kherson and beyond. So, very important strategic site. It's been attacked several times in the past. Mainly, the Russians are now having to rely on barges to resupply their troops, and the Ukrainian hope is that they'll be able to capture more and more villages and press tighter and tighter in against Kherson. But today, military officials in the south behind this southern counteroffensive are saying to the citizens of Kherson to get down below ground, start stockpiling water, charge phones, carry power banks and so on in order to prepare for what could be an assault on the city. And of course, what the Ukrainians are desperately trying to avoid is some kind of siege of a city that is full and heavily populated, of course, by Ukrainian citizens that they're trying to liberate.
Sam, before you go, there are these reports that Russian shelling caused a fire at the largest nuclear power plant in Ukraine. That's the one we've been talking so much about in Zaporizhia, forcing to cut it off from power yet again completely. What can you tell us about that tonight?
Well, it's a very important development, but the fact that it's happened 3 times in about 10 days is extremely worrying. On this occasion, it is the first time that it's happened with UN monitors on the ground. There are 2 semi-permanent UN monitors on the ground who've been trying to establish who is responsible for these attacks. Now, the Ukrainians blame the Russians blame the Ukrainians. The Ukrainians are saying that the power line was cut in order to carry out repairs and to put out fires caused by Russian shelling. But we haven't yet heard from the UN as to who done it, if you like. And that is going to be a very important development. This week, they're likely to produce their preliminary report.
Russia is adding 25 names to its list of sanctioned Americans who are permanently barred from entering the country. The sanctioned Americans include actors Sean Penn and Ben Stiller, as well as Democratic Senators Mark Kelly and Kyrsten Sinema, and Republican Senators Kevin Cramer, Michael Rounds, Rick Scott, and Patrick Toomey. Both Stiller and Penn have been outspoken critics of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The Foreign Ministry says it is a response to U.S. sanctions against numerous Russian citizens.
We have new CNN reporting this morning that Russia is buying millions of rockets and artillery shells from North Korea to use in Ukraine. A U.S. official says it's a sign that Russian troops are having severe supply shortages there. CNN's Barbara Starr is live at the Pentagon for us this morning. Barbara, what have you learned on this front?
Well, good morning, John. The administration now very open about what it sees going on with Russia making these munitions purchases. We received a statement a short time ago from a senior defense official. Let me read it to you. And the official says, and I quote, "The Russian Ministry of Defense is in the process of purchasing millions of rockets and artillery shells from North Korea for use on the battlefield in Ukraine. This purchase indicates that the Russian military continues to suffer from severe supply shortages in Ukraine, due in part to export controls and sanctions. We expect Russia could try to purchase additional North Korean military equipment going forward." So Here's where we stand. The Ukrainians are making progress, of course, in that eastern area of Ukraine, especially around the Kherson area. The Russians know the Ukrainians obviously are making progress, so they are trying to reinforce with these munitions, millions of rounds. But there's going to be challenges for the Russians. It's going to take a while for it all to get there. They are going to have to get it into Ukraine with the troops and equipment that will make it possible for them to actually use these munitions inside Ukraine. And they're buying them from North Korea, which is pretty interesting. The North Koreans, not known for their advanced methods of storing their military equipment. So we'll have to see how effective these munitions are, whether they actually work, and if the Russians are going to, in fact, be able to even get them there. John?
Yeah, Barbara, that was my question. Does North Korea have this type of an arsenal to sell, and will it be effective for the Russians to use on the battlefield?
Well, you know, it's so interesting. The North Koreans have a huge inventory. I think there's little question about that. But of course, we've always been led to believe the Russians have a huge inventory, that they still have a long way to go before they really make a dip, shall we say, into their weapons stock. So why they now need this, why they are not able to mobilize their forces and their munitions from across Russia and move it into Ukraine is a very interesting question. North Korea is a long distance away. Even if you're going to fly it by cargo plane, it's a lot of flights into Russia, and then again, trying to get it into Ukraine.
Yeah, I think, as you say, the most surprising thing here is the Russians don't have the equipment on their own. Barbara Starr,